Listen.
Yeah! Yes, God! Oh. Get that out of there.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Matty Rants. Please forgive me. I was trying to get the screen up because I was sitting here like, okay, I'm waiting. And then I turned to my left to my little secondary screen I use for doing this slide stuff for when we do these live reviews. And I said, oh, bitch, it's not up. So I was trying to pull it up in time, but I got it here. And now here I am available to you. What's up? This is a afternoon live review, today. We're going to be talking about Chucky, the TV series. You have asked this. You have asked of me. You said, Matty, please. Come on. Where is this at? A couple of y'all got me together on Twitter. I hear you. Trust me. Now, whether this is as popular as Drag Race or not, I love Chucky. He's my favorite horror movie icon. And I'm definitely going to have to talk about this today with you. Of course, we're going to go through the movie series very quickly or as quickly as possible to give you an idea if, for example, you have no idea like what this is and you're like, okay, I want to watch this because it's Matty. So I will give you some information and background on the series Chucky through the Child's Play movie series, not including the robotic Chucky because that was a mess. We do not include this in this anthology. It's not there. But yes, we will talk about it as well as reviewing episode 6, which is the most recent review, and we'll make this a part of the weekly lineup, which there's only 2 more episodes left starting tonight, which is at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern on Sci-Fi Network and USA Network. All right, now let me get back over here. Because I was like, baby, let me get my things up. So absolutely, of course I'm on theme. Of course we're on theme. Hey Donna, how you doing today? Yeah, this is Child's Play 2 set, by the way, for the girls that don't know. And of course, y'all know I'm a Sailor Moon fan, so Artemis is going to be sitting behind me as my co-host today in silence. Silence. Yes, but we're going to have a fun time. Yeah, we don't talk about Bebop Chucky. And there's a reason why, of course, the creator of the series is Don Mancini. Huge fan of his. He's definitely given my queer heart so much love, as Chucky is an homage and a love letter to the queer community. It also has been written about. There's articles on this, especially with certain elements have been played through the series. It's fabulous. So yeah, let's get started here. I want to go ahead and bring this up. Hey, Mimi Cherry. Y'all, it's been one crazy week. I actually started off this morning getting up to film for TMZ. They cut my segment and asked if I wanted to be on next week. So I was like, okay, let's just do next week, whatever. But I was up at 7. Then I had to get this review together. We have Dragula coming up, and I'm also doing airtime today. So I have been moving, so to speak. But yes, welcome to the live, kids. Once again, this is a live review. Talk it up, do what we do. It's not Drag Race, but again, this is what y'all have requested, and I'm so excited to talk about it. Chucky, episode 6 review live, but the movies in series recap. Now, we got to start at the beginning if we're really going to go here. Okay, how do I do these? Now, let me give you some background into this if you really want to start with Matty and just where I come from in the Chucky universe. Okay. So, I, as a kid, was terrified of dolls. I was terrified of dolls. Like, it was a horrible phobia of mine. My brothers and my cousins used to torture me. I had a My Buddy doll, but they had to get rid of it because of the fact that they would play pranks on me at night and throw it on me and then do little dark voices and all that kind of stuff. Fucked me up as a kid. So when we went to Blockbuster, as a child, and I went to Blockbuster and, we're doing all that kind of stuff, I would see this movie sitting on the aisles and I would be like, oh, hell no. Okay. Hold on a second here. Oh, let's make sure. We don't have any interruptions. All right, I had to turn my Wi-Fi off on my phone real quick. But this shit used to scare me. I'd be like, "What the fuck is that?" And my mom would be like, "You're not gonna like it," because I'd always ask her, "Is that a little boy or is that a doll?" She's like, "You're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like it. Just let it go." I'm like, "Okay, okay, fine. I'll let it go. I'll let it go." But later on, I was forced to watch Child's Play 2. I was forced to watch it. And they brought me in at the worst scene possible. My cousins were evil. But I always would see this on the, Blockbuster, whatever, sitting on the shelves. And I was like, this shit scares me. But the first movie is important because it establishes what's going on with the series, where Charles Lee Ray is a serial killer who's been killing people for quite some time, based out of New Jersey, Hackensack, so to speak. Well, actually, to speak. And he's on the run from a police officer who's chasing him down. And so he corners him in a toy store. When they get in the toy store, Charles Lee Ray has been shot. He's almost out of his luck. This is the end for him. The reign is over. However, he has been practicing voodoo for some time and decides to take um, a good guy doll, which looks like a My Buddy doll for us, but it's a good guy doll. And so when he takes the good guy doll, he does his voodoo spell, which always starts with Ade, Due, Dimbala for the girls who know, who are fans of the show. And he transfers his soul into the doll's body. Now, with the voodoo spell comes a certain task or toll that goes with this doll. Whereas the longer he's in the body, the more human he becomes. So Charles Lee Ray, who is nicknamed Chucky, which is where this all started from, believes that he is basically God. He's immortal and he can't be killed. So now he's in the form of this doll. And of course, he needs to play hideout. He finds his way into Andy's home because his mother is looking for a present. Andy's been crying for it for so long. It's a lot. And so she finds one because her friend Maggie was like, "Bitch, I know somebody in the back of the way." They find a bum who's got the stuff, sells it for a little cheaper. She able to get the doll. And of course, the doll is Charles Lee Ray inside the body. And it said, "Baby, here we go." So when they ask him the question, and of course, the director wants you to know the doll is alive and it's him, he's like, "What's your name?" And the doll literally looks away for a second, like, what would be a great name to tell a child for a doll? "Oh, that's right. I am Charles. Call me Chucky." It's, "Hi, I'm Chucky." It was very realistic. Now, of course, Chucky is on his reign of terror as he's killing all of Andy's mom's friends and also seeking out revenge on people who wronged him, and even pays the voodoo doctor who taught him his special spell a visit to tell him, "Hey, doc, why am I starting to hurt?" "Oh, that's right. You're turning into a human." Kills the voodoo doctor. Okay. At the end of this all, the mother finds out the doll isn't alive because she actually checks the batteries on the back of it. An iconic scene where the doll turns around like, "Bitch," scares the fuck out of her. She realizes it's alive, starts to play. She says, "God damn it, I will throw you in this fire if you don't tell me you're alive." And of course, this huge fight breaks out. And that's when the movie takes a crazy turn. At the end of it, the police officer is almost killed in a car by being stabbed in the back. It's very scary. Um, they end up burning the doll in the fire. The doll did not die through the fire, everybody. They had to shoot it several times. Head blown off, everything. Chucky was like unstoppable. And of course, that made him a terror and a threat. Now, because Child's Play was so successful, they moved on to Child's Play 2, which I heard was hard to do, but it was like they had to pop it out. Let's get on to Child's Play 2. But that's the start of Chucky in reference to what happened here. He was basically killed that way. Now, this poster, this is the movie that they introduced me to as a kid, and it kind of fucked me up just a bit. But Child's Play 2, basically, Chucky is reborn again. It's kind of in a weird way. Like a portion of him is dumped into like a vat or whatever. They like remade the doll. They like shave it off and all that kind of stuff. And they're like, "No, let's just remake him. It's okay." And by doing so, I guess lightning strikes the toy company. And by lightning striking the toy company, it causes the doll to come alive because his soul was trapped in the entity. Okay. With that being said, Chucky's like, "Where the fuck is Andy?" Because Andy's mother has been sent to a mental institution because no one believed her when they said a doll was alive trying to kill them. And of course, they thought the boy was traumatized, so they sent him to an orphanage. The same orphanage. Wait a minute, hold on, Matt. Whoop, 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 whoop. Not same. Back up. I'm thinking of this lady who played another. She played some. She played in another movie. The lady that was in the orphanage for Child's Play 2 was in another movie, in like the same sort of role. But back to this. Um, he's in the orphanage. There's a new family. This lady collects porcelain figurines, and the dad is an asshole. But they bring him to the house to meet his adoptive sister, Kyle, who will play a huge factor in the series coming up. For Child's Play 2, Chucky finds Andy by basically going through the good guy inventory because they're trying to cover up the incident from happening. So the assistant is taking the doll itself, literally the doll. They're like, oh, this is the one remade. Puts in the back of the car. This is the same doll that was being accused of killing people. It's nothing, right? It's just a toy. And decides to take it back somewhere to dispose of it or give it to something. I can't remember. I think he was bringing it to his boss or something, right? And so Chucky then kills the guy via suffocation with a Ziploc bag, goes through the paperwork, finds out where Andy lives by calling the orphanage and asking questions. It's his Uncle Charles. Oh, Child's Play 2 was the works because Child's Play 2 started getting campier and it added like an element with the music. You have to admit, Child's Play 2 was the best of the series for multiple reasons. Deaths were better. Chucky was way more, he was a lot funnier. They made it a little campier, and at the same time, he was scarier because they added him just being able to run in and out of the house versus where the first movie, he was more so, is he alive? Are you sure? Are you sure? And then we find out sort of midway through. This time it was like, balls rolling, let's go. I'm getting Andy's soul. That was it. So Kyle eventually finds out after the parents are killed. Chucky's taking, of course, Andy to the toy store. Again, he's just trying to get his soul. He needs somewhere where no one can find him. An epic scene takes place where Andy's battling Chucky. Chucky's hands ripped off. He replaces it with a blade. That shit was crazy. The toy store scene was crazy. Some man is killed by eyes that would have gone into a doll, like on the factory line, just jamming into his face. It's nuts. But Chucky was killed by Andy through, what was that, like an air or some like cord or something that like had air pressure. Puts it in Chucky, who was like melted from hot plastic that got all over him. It was insane. And he blew up. So Chucky blows up in the second movie. They literally killed the damn doll. Blown up. That's it, right? We're done with Chucky. Nope. Child's Play 3. I did not like this cover when I was a kid either. I was like, why are they showing this face this way? I'm going to go through this one a little quicker than the others. Chucky goes after Andy again. Andy's a teenager. Andy's in military school. Andy has a little black friend. The little black friend is the only black person that's there. Why was that the case? Maybe somebody else in the background, but nah, that was the only brother there. Andy's being picked on. It's a military movie, so I mean, you can put that together how that was going to go down. Chucky finds his way there. Blows up. A piece of him falls into the batter and makes him again. And then somehow he finds his way to the military. Almost gets thrown away. Starts killing people. Ends up finding Andy, using the little black boy as his, I guess, way of getting to Andy, but then says, oh no, I told my secret to this boy and I'm going to just be black now. There's a whole moment where Chucky's like, I'm going to be a black guy. Seriously, there's a whole moment where it was like that. I was like, bitch, are we doing this today? It was the early 90s, so you know how the girls were. Mm-hmm. Either way, Chucky ends up replacing some bullets for a paintball fight with paintball pellets with actual bullets for one team, causing chaos. He's able to get the black kid away from Andy, takes him into a amusement park or some sort of carnival situation. All hilarity ensues after that. Then here we go on the craziest ride on the planet. They crawl all the way to the top of some ride, which I don't see how that was possible. But then again, this is the movie. This is where it's going. This also was a movie that was rushed and people were not happy with how it went down. It's not my favorite Chucky movie, but we'll continue. Chucky ends up having this show off with Andy and his somewhat girlfriend, or the one that at least likes him while he's there at the military academy, who, yeah, her storyline was really not that interesting. But they end up slicing Chucky's face off after he got too close to like some ride attraction. Then he gets shot off of the mountain, falls into a fan, like one of those industrial fans. And once again, Chucky blows up for the second time, blows up. Pieces everywhere. He's dead, right? Nope. Shall we continue? So as you can see from the stitches here, our good friend Charles Lee Ray has been reborn once again as Chucky because Tiffany, who is now added to this equation, who is played by the wonderful Jennifer Tilly, and we love Jennifer Tilly in this household. Um, she sews him back together after finding his pieces at a police like lockers area, I guess, that had if you saw the movie, it had items from other uh killers in movies. For example, Jason's mask was in a locker. Michael Myers, I think his butcher knife was somewhere in there. I think Freddy Krueger's glove was in one of the lockers. If you go past it as the guy is walking by, you'll see things from certain movies that are supposed to be, references. But the bag holds pieces of Chucky. I have to ask this question because it didn't make any sense to me. Why would they have gone in there and picked up Chucky piece by piece? Did anybody else did that not make sense? I thought that didn't make any sense to me. I was like, so if it blew up, I would just assume that's it. What's it gonna do? Crawl back together again? I don't think so. I don't think we know any of the spell that does that. So it really that blew my mind. Like, why is it in pieces? But I guess we need to start somewhere to get this going. Either way, Tiffany sews him back together, tries to resurrect him, doesn't work out, ends up waking up in the middle of Tiffany fucking around with some weird dude. And of course, Chucky and Tiffany start back up. But of course, Tiffany realizes this man is a doll and he's still an asshole like he was in the beginning. So she decides to lock him up, to which Chucky said, fuck all that, and ends up killing Tiffany. But wait, there's a doll. There's another doll. And he decides to transfer her body into the doll. So Chucky's longtime girlfriend, who was his fiance, but not really, is now another doll who is also a killer named Tiffany. So now it's Chucky and Tiffany, and it's Bride of Chucky. Katherine Heigl was in this movie. I don't want to give you any more details on that because we all know her as an actress. Pooh. But Chucky and Tiffany go across country. Basically, they take these this couple all the way to where Chucky's body is to find the heart of Damballa, so that way they can do a full transformation spell and get into a human's body. That's the idea. They know how to go to human to doll, but about doll to human. Haha, or make sure that the process works. We shall continue. But Chucky kills Tiffany. Tiffany kills Chucky. Well, actually, no. Katherine Heigl killed Chucky. Oh, that sucks. And then Tiffany wakes up and has a baby. That's the end of the movie. What the fuck? A doll had a baby. Oh, that's right. They had sex in that movie. They did have sex in that. They had sex in that movie. Tiffany and Chucky had sex. That was weird. That was the weirdest thing. Rubber. Babe, I'm made out of rubber. That was the weirdest. It was the weirdest. I remember being in the movie theater going, what is happening? Everybody was like, this is... I don't think we ever thought that was going to be possible to see two dolls having sex. But here we are with Seed of Chucky. Now, this is an important block in the Chucky series, even though it's considered to be the worst of the Chuckies next to Curse of Chucky. You know I'm not lying. You know I'm not lying. Both this and Curse were trash. However, Seed of Chucky was a comedy. I don't even put it in as a horror film. I don't put it in anything scary. There was nothing scary about this film at all. Not a single bit. I didn't jump one time. This was comedy at its finest. It was pure camp. Stupid silly. Absolutely. Chucky and Tiffany, apparently, their bodies have somehow been reconstructed again. And the original versions of them, because I don't know why this is to be, I really don't. But the original bodies of them that were reconstructed after all that shit, Tiffany was burned, mind you. But somehow they have a physical copy of what she looked like to bring her back. I'll continue. They brought back Chucky too, but it was like, what is this? Anywho, they were filming a movie now. So Chucky is now a film saga series because the world is aware of his presence. But are they? Because that's sort of not even put together, I guess, through the TV series, but kind of is. We'll continue. So Chucky and Tiffany are resurrected through another lightning storm situation with their son or daughter, because, excuse me, non-gender binary conforming child. Oh, come on, Matt. child here because their child has apparently been living with some weird man who does circus tricks and pees on him and calls him little wee wee. And there's a weird scene of Glenda running. I'll never let that go. He looks like Tom Cruise. They look like Tom Cruise when they're running. It's a mess. And they decide that they need to go find their parents because by looking at their wrist, it said made in China, made in China, made in China. So by seeing Chucky's wrist, they were like, oh, that must be my dad too because it says they're made in China. Yo. Finds their way in Hollywood. Mind you, Jennifer Tilly is playing Tiffany in the movie as Tiffany, even though in the film series of the Chucky's show, Bride of Chucky, all that, Tiffany is played by Jennifer Tilly. It's very... All right. So Jennifer Tilly's there with Tiffany in tow. Got it. Anywho, Glenda finds them. Ade Due, the whole necklace that they were looking for. Oh shit, you did it. And you got the necklace. Now we can transfer our souls into a human and it will go through perfectly. That's why I was fucking up before. All right, here we go. Hannah from S Club 7 was in this movie. Hannah from S Club 7. How? How did she find her way into this franchise? We never saw her again. Literally, she got burned alive in this and then flew down. That was it. Redman was in this movie, playing himself as a film director and was going to do the nativity, the birth of Jesus Christ. And Jennifer Tilly was auditioning as Mary Magdalene. I cannot. This was like inside the movie. This is a premise inside the movie. Another storyline happening here. Jennifer Tilly is fucking her limo driver. She doesn't want to be with him because he's poor. She's trying to be famous again. It's all that. It's all that. And that house was ass tacky. It was ass tacky. Ass. It was terrible. Anywho, Glenda finds them. Glenda's going through it because they're trying to figure out who the hell they are. Chucky wants them to be a boy. Tiffany's like they should be a girl. Chucky is teaching Glenn to kill while Tiffany is teaching Glenda to be a lady. Tiffany is also basically running Jennifer's life. Is so difficult to talk about it when they're right there. And she's killing people for them. John Waters was in there too. That's right. John Waters was the paparazzi. Mars Tux, let me get you in here, baby. John Waters was the paparazzi and was taking pictures, and they had to go kill him so that way that the secret wouldn't get out. Because he was like, oh my God, it's Chucky, all that kind of mess. So it's weird, but this is a scene where they literally inseminate Jennifer Tilly with a turkey baster with a doll's sperm. I repeat one more time. They in vitro with our good sis Jennifer. Playing herself. Not as herself, but herself as somebody's self. With a turkey baster with a plastic doll's sperm, who is technically human-esque now in this form because they've been in it so long. Okay. Because it's a voodoo pregnancy, the babies come out quickly. And it just so happens that they're both a boy and a girl comes out. So somehow, after Tiffany and Chucky fight, and Tiffany, I should say Glenn or Glenda beats Chucky in this weird scene. It went all over the place, girl. Tiffany transfers her soul into Jennifer Tilly. There we go. Oh my God. Here we go. And then they split Glenda's soul into the twins that were born from the voodoo pregnancy. I kid you not. This shit was so stupid. It was the weirdest movie. I actually paid to go see this in the movie theaters. Regret. But it's still one that I have to watch when I see it on TV or if I see it in a queue on Netflix or any sort of streaming platform. Even though I know it's trash, I will watch this movie. It's that much love I have for Chucky. All right, moving on, and we're about to get to the series. So thanks for sticking in. I know this is not a lot of people up in this piece like we normally do, especially like Draglets tonight. We're gonna have a whole lot because we got a lot to talk about with Draglets tonight. But I already know this will pick up. And again, I appreciate those who wanted to watch this because again, I love the series and I can talk about it for a while. So please make sure you hit that like button. Also, make sure you share. And when this video ends, if you could go to the comment section and comment a lot, help push this in the algorithm. So I appreciate y'all for being here. Curse of Chucky. Hated it. Hated it. Hated it. Huh. Bleh. 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 Terrible. Okay, let's start. All right. As you can see, the doll has changed completely. Okay? Completely. They brought a new good guy doll over to this house. All right. As we established in Seed of Chucky, Chucky's body can be transferred into different souls. Interesting fact after this is somewhat in between. If I'm not let me see here. Hold on, let me come back. Let me come back. If I'm correct, this is after Seed of Chucky. If I'm correct. Because Tiffany's now in Jennifer Tilly's body. Yep, that's right. This is after Seed of Chucky. So they actually continued this. I thought this was somewhat like before, in between. No. This is after. So apparently, they were trying to do a new doll with this series. I don't know if they were cutting on cost or if it was something to do with maybe copyright of whatever was happening and they changed production companies. I don't know what's up. I hate this fucking doll. It's ugly. Everything about it was ugly. And the CGI was ass in this film. But Chucky has found his way into this family's house that belongs to people that apparently he knew from way back in the day. Charles Lee Ray, when he was in his human form and was still a killer, used to prey on certain families. And with this family in particular, with everybody that was in this household, he killed the mother of the woman who is Nika, that is in a wheelchair now, because when the woman was pregnant with Nika, Charles Lee Ray stabbed her in the stomach. That's why Nika is paralyzed in the film. So Chucky came back to finish the job, which is like, really? You came back to, really? Really? Killed everybody in the house. Didn't get Nika. The police came, saw Nika all blooded up and shit. The lady was in a wheelchair, so she ran around and killed everybody. Okay. They send her to the mental institution. Chucky ends up going with the little girl, and Chucky ends up possessing this child later. We find this out in the next movie, and it's also explained a little bit in the TV series. But Chucky ends up possessing her and uses this little girl to kill people. I was like, oh my God. This is why Chucky became a true threat to me as one of the horror movie icons. Not only is he sneaky, assassin ready, because it's unsuspecting to think a doll is going to wake up and then just stab you to death about 28 times, right? Also, the ability of voodoo. So then Chucky can transfer himself into different entities and objects, meaning this is Lord Voldemort level of some fuckery, okay? He literally can spread his soul into many different things. That is why I think Chucky is going to always be a threat in the movie universe and should be respected and put in at least top 5, if not top 10 on the killer rating. Yes, the girls can say they could kick him, but you'd have to hear him coming first for you to knock him and punt him all the way across the field. You feel what I'm saying? That's why it's like, I hear people say, oh, I'd get him. Would you? Because if you were asleep, you'd never hear him coming. Just like the TV series, when they were making out in the bed, just like in the first movie, literally just sitting there with a knife. No, you can't hear that. Just done. So yeah, I would be nervous for that. Now, it's interesting you bring up who would win, Chucky or Annabelle. That's two different things. Chucky is possessed by a human soul. Annabelle has a demon that is surrounding it and controlling Annabelle. Okay, so Annabelle is not in Annabelle, it is around Annabelle. If you remember the first Annabelle movie, the really shitty one, remember when she finally got a glimpse of the demon that was holding Annabelle? It wasn't even in the doll, it was holding it. And oh, that made it so creepy. I was like, oh my God. Like, this, it's not a doll, it's just in there with something inside. No, honey, it's literally around the goddamn thing. Like, oh no. No. Yeah, Annabelle don't move. Annabelle is moved. It doesn't move on its own. It is moved. Different story. This is somebody who is who is clearly ready to go to hell. Okay. Ah, moving forward with this, Chucky has ended up in this girl's body, kills the girl, ends up dying. So what happens? We move on to the next movie, which is going to be Cult of Chucky. This is the film you need to see prior to watching the TV series if you would like a full transition into the show. I was happy that that's what we were given with this, because when it ended, I was like, where are they going to go with this now? Because this was also kind of campy, but it had some great kills and it had some really interesting moments, and it showed Chucky's power. Also, Chucky's the third move here, just like an assassin, just like, the way he can, of course, has experience with killing. Chucky is a master manipulator. He can talk his way into anything, into getting into anybody's head. The power of persuasion lives in this one, because he's a reasonable doll. You know what I'm saying? As he's told us in the show, he's a little reasonable, but he also can get inside your head and make you do things. It's very interesting. Coaster Lover. I hope you caught that was really also an homage to Bride of Chucky when Tiffany threw the champagne bottle and killed that Bonnie and Clyde couple that stole Jade's wallet. And when he did that to the lady who was also gassed up, I said, really? I said, we had a little kill. I thought he was going to say something. I think he did. A true classic never goes out of style. I forget what he said. He said something that was quoting Tiffany in that moment. I was like, oh, they did it. I was so happy. Either way, Chucky has found his way to where Nika's at in this mental institution, and is basically utilizing the moment as people are considered, not well mentally. And so them seeing a doll running around would not be taken seriously. While this is happening, Tiffany in Jennifer Tilly's body has now paid a visit to the hospital and introduced a second doll into the mix. Also, while this is going on, everybody, Andy from the first movie is torturing the first Chucky. And the first Chucky is the Chucky from Seed of Chucky. Okay? That's the killer part. So if you remember from Bride of Chucky, of course, Tiffany sewed the doll up, right? Okay, fine. Let's keep moving. Now, Chucky got over to Seed of Chucky, but then Glenda kind of fucked him up in the hospital, but left him for dead. Andy found the rest of the body and then brought it back to his house, and Andy's been torturing that Chucky while different portions of Chucky's soul have been transferred into other dolls. Bitch. That's when Cult of Chucky got really good. I was like, oh, wait a minute. So he's in, wait. He was in everything. Don't you remember the scene when the woman breastfed Chucky and he just bit her titty and it was just bleeding? I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. How disgusting. I could not get that out of my mouth. It's so gross. I was like, so wait a minute. She's breastfeeding the doll, and then just all of a sudden that blood trips. I said, well, baby girl, you know what? Get yours, honey. Get yours. Towards the end of the film, this is literally, there's 3 Chuckies standing here. Like, do you see this? And of course, they changed the design of the doll sort of to match a little bit of the old one, but it still had that newer one's ugliness. So whenever they actually made Chucky start to move or whatever, it's like they started to bring the old face back, but not in the best way. So it was a little gross. Let's see here. I didn't even realize all the movies were connected and followed a sensible timeline until you're explaining it right now. Yes, that is okay. So that's why me and Blake have been gushing over this on the panel so much. And everybody else who I've gotten on the show has been like, Matt, this is fucking brilliant. I said, yes, because if you saw the films, this is literally the timeline wrapped together in a TV series where everything now makes perfect sense. Like shit that would have never made sense, that wasn't making sense, now makes perfect sense. That's why I like it. I think Don Mancini figured it out and was like, oh, I know what to do. This is what we're going to do. So Nika, who has been just watching everybody die around her once again, ends up being Ade Due Dimbalad by Charles E. Ray, and Chucky has now possessed Nika's body. Okay? So Nika is no longer Nika. That's now Charles E. Ray. Also, fun fact here, Chucky is voiced by Brad Dourif. Excellent actor. Excellent. Nika is played by Fiona Dourif, who is Brad Dourif's daughter. Aha! So father and daughter are working on this series together and have now been working on Curse of Chucky, Cult of Chucky, and now Chucky the TV series. What a wonderful. I said this is fun. I love the fact that the family's working together, and she does a really good dad. Like she does the voice and everything. 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 Tiffany picks up Nika with, excuse me, Jennifer Tilly. See how I have to do this? Picks up Nika, and Tiffany's in the back as the doll. And they drive off, and that's the end of the movie. And it's like, what the fuck is this? Where are they going? This brought us here. Now we're on the Chucky TV series. It's been 2 months. Thank you, Nika, in episode 5 for saying that, because I was like, bitch, I didn't know what the timeline was. It's been, excuse me, 2 weeks, not 2 months. Chop, chop. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Even though low key it was snowing where they were at, so I didn't understand. And I was like, maybe it's different, but that's what they were trying to say. It's been like 2 weeks since that situation happened with Cult of Chucky into the TV series. We're now back into the original birthplace of Charles Lee Ray. You are also going to be given, when watching the show, back history of Charles Lee Ray. So Charles Lee Ray wasn't just like, oh my God, I'm going to start killing one day. He was always crazy. Something was always off with him. And his parents, there was a serial killer in his neighborhood that was, stalking people. The guy ends up coming to the house and killing his dad. And Chucky sees this. Charles sees it. He's just like, whatever. Ends up hiding in the closet with his mother while a serial killer's in the house looking for them. And Charles Lee Ray kills his mother in the closet. Does it for the man. It was like, what? Like, this is insane. And the guy just sort of goes, okay, good job, kid, and all that kind of stuff. Leaves the boy alone, and Charles is sitting there with his dead mother. What the fuck? I was so confused. Here you go, Coastal Liver. Right. He says, look, I helped. I thought it was like, what? Are we doing this? Okay, fine. This makes him even more of a threat. He was always insane. They even had a scene of him for Halloween biting into candy, realizing there was a razor blade in it, and just wanting to experience the pain. Oof. I was like, Charles is crazy. Also, remember when he was in the orphanage? Fun fact here, I figured this out. Thank you, Twitter, in the Child's Play fandom, for bringing this up. But when he was in the orphanage and there was a dead body, the one that Charles had killed, but was showing the kids trying to fuck them up, the one who stayed was Eddie Caputo, who was from this first Child's Play movie that Chucky killed by turning on the oven in that house and fucking with him and made him like shoot it. So that was a fun fact to see that Eddie Caputo and Charles Lee Ray started way back then when he was in the orphanage, and that was supposed to be there. So yeah, he was supposed to be the getaway driver. Correct, Coaster Lover. And of course, Eddie drove off and left Charles sitting there stranded. You motherfucker! You. Oh yeah, that whole part of the movie when he was trying, he was. This is actually a scene because, again, shout out to USA and Sci-Fi. I'm so glad they're showing this on 2 different networks at the same time. Easy way for people to watch it in case they have different cable plans. But Tiffany and Chucky have been doing this for years. And that's Fiona Dorff right there, who was Nika, playing Charles Lee Ray in the younger days. That's how they were maneuvering and operating and stuff. Like, even with this car that Tiffany's been driving for the entire time of the series, they ended up getting it back then by killing this guy who was selling it. So it's very nice to see them give Charles Lee Ray an actual backing outside of him just being the doll, where in the first movie we saw the human form of him, had glimpses in other movies, but here we are. So now I'm to the series. Thanks for tuning in. I said I was going to keep this on the right time because, I got to get on airtime at 6 o'clock. Don't forget, if you're watching this now, you can join me on airtime, 4 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm having a very busy day. For the Drag Race Everything and Hot Topics, we're going to be talking about some Drag Race stuff, watching some funny videos, having a really good time. Please make sure to join me in there. It's super helpful. And of course, hit the comment section up and like and all that stuff. And also like this video. And thanks for being here. Awesome. Thanks. Love the Tiffany misdirect reveal at the club. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you for bringing that up. Let's talk about that. When they introduced Tiffany's character, the way they did it was fun because it at first seemed like the original one who Chucky met at the club, who was kind of off, was Tiffany because she was blonde. But Tiffany actually dyed her hair. Chucky kind of like basically persuaded her to dye her hair. But she was the other girl that Tiffany was going to kill with Charles. But Charles was like, nah, I'm not feeling that no more. And so he ends up killing her. And then Tiffany ends up killing the girl on top of that because she was feeling it and her voice cracked. And that's how her voice became like Jennifer Tilly's. And then Jennifer Tilly is basically like voicing the person who's acting as Jennifer. It's so funny. It's really good, but I just, it's a lot. Okay. Let's get into the Chucky TV series. Now that we've gone through the movies, now that you know what's been going on, I have given you the like the cliff notes basically on all of it. So here we go. Jake Wheeler is your typical artistic kid who is a little bit misunderstood, but is also hiding a secret because Jake is gay. So, unfortunately, he's dealing with a very homophobic father in a homophobic town situationship where he doesn't feel like he has a lot of friends or any friends at all, period. Jake is creating a sculpture right now dedicated to his mother and using doll heads, of course, for this. And while he's out at a rummage sale or a garage sale, I should say, looking for dolls, of course, who happens to be sitting right there, but a good guy doll. I wonder what this could be. Speaking of which, shout out to the series for playing modern music and actual like updated music to go with certain elements, especially like when Junior's mother was killed. That music that was playing before she was pushed out the window, wasn't that a gag? It was like, wait, are they doing this? And they were playing that music. They ramped up the music, just built. Oh, it was good. Whew, the show is crazy. Anywho, Jake acquires Chucky, brings him home, of course, doesn't know what's going on here. Chucky starts to show signs of himself being alive. And then, of course, Jake is dealing with his dad being a total, just a boob, just a knob. Jake brings the doll to school for some fucking odd reason. I would never, but at the same time, this is how the story is going. By him bringing the doll to school, of course, it causes attention because he's dealing with a fucking bully who I hated so very much at the beginning of this series. I wanted Chucky to get her so bad. Lexi. Standing next to Lexi is Junior, which is, of course, Jake's cousin because their dads are brothers who are both played by Devin Sawa. I haven't seen Devin Sawa in a long time, but he's the dad of both of them because, I don't know, they needed to do that. Either way, Lexi was an ass. They know Junior is not as wealthy as them, and she uses this opportunity to create a GoFundMe account saying, oh, he's going to sell the doll because he's poor. She was a BI from the beginning. And later on, this might change. Jesus Christ. It's so weird how they kind of played with our emotions this entire show. Speaking of people who I love and I have theories on and people have brought to me too, this is a widely spread theory, okay? This is our favorite teacher. This is Jake's science teacher, Lexi's science teacher, all of that, right? Why do I feel like this is Glenda in this body? I don't know why it's sitting with me because of the way she's sort of she's done certain things on this series where I'm very, that has to be her. Because remember in the first episode when she left the doll in the room with Lexi, but then she turns off the lights. It was kind of strange for that moment to happen. Like, yeah, I kind of get it. And also, why didn't you just put up the doll or do whatever? But it was the moment when she turned off the lights for me that blew my mind. Why would you turn off the lights on a child in a room that you just left in? Do you hear me? This is the shit I'm talking about. Thank you. And the reference for the criminal record. Something is not right with our good sister here. I think this is Glenn/Glenda. I think. Or it's Glenda, and Glenn is either going to show up later or Glenn is dead because Glenda killed Glenn. Ooh. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Bitch, that's where that's my theory. I'm sticking to it. I'm hoping I'm right. If I'm not, whatever. It's a fun theory because that's how she's acting and how they're writing her character out to be for me. It's like, yeah, okay, she's cool or whatever, and we like her, and she's like the awesome teacher, but something's up. Either way, Jake has to get rid of the doll because shit starts to happen. He's like, I don't need to deal with these problems no more. My dad's really fucked up. But Chucky finds his way back into his arms because Jake, again, is dealing with a homophobic father. He destroyed his sculpture. He called him a name and just did all of that. It's just a mess. Jake's life fucking sucks. And his mom is dead and he's just not. Ugh, I hated the fact that Jake went through. I felt so bad for him in the beginning, like a lot, because he just was not having a good time at all. Lexi is about to out Jake and our good friend. What is the boyfriend's name? What is the boo's name again? Come on, Matt. What's the boo's name again? It's not Duncan. Why am I having a brain fart on this name? It's Jake Lexi Jr. Boom. Come on, Matt. Jake Lexi Jr. Boom. What's that boy's name? He has a pot. Devin. Thank you. I was like, it's not Duncan. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Devin. Okay, so Devin, who has a podcast, we do love Devin. We love Devin in this house, so we'll get to that in a second. I got a picture up for that. But Chucky reads the shit out of Lexi. Pokemon porn has now become available for households worldwide after watching the show. I was like, what? I can't believe they even said that. But Lexi sort of gets like blasted by Chucky, and Chucky uses this to force Jake into, I guess, accepting him and realizing I have your back, and no one else is going to have it like me. All right, Jake, that's how this starts. All this is going down, and of course, his dad, also played by Devin Sawa, who again, Junior's dad is also played by Devin Sawa, ends up fighting him, throwing him into his room and all that mess, and throws down Chucky. Chucky's had enough of this and is like, we're gonna have to change up the scenery here, and kills Jake's dad, and does it by throwing up on him with exposed electrical cords. Brilliant death, by the way. Would never have expected Chucky to throw up on somebody and cause them to be electrocuted to death. Never would have seen that happen. So, and that was the first episode. Jake's now at his cousin's house with, again, Devin Sawa and, of course, our good sis Bree here, who, honey. We got to talk about Bree, because Bree didn't need to go the way she did. Furman, we are certainly going to do that. I just want to get to the end of this where I have the picture and everything set up where I'm going to have that breakdown. Because trust me, I'm going to talk about it. This is Junior's parents, which again, that's Junior's dad, who is the brother of Jake's dad, who died, who's also dealing with his brother's death, as well as putting a lot of pressure on Junior to be the athlete that I guess his dad couldn't be. And then the mother, who has a secret that Chucky almost exposed, but sort of led into everybody else thinking that they know, is that the mom has stage 4 cancer and has been hiding it. Oh, it was a gag because everyone thought she was sleeping with somebody. Didn't you? Didn't you? Didn't you? Oh. Yeah, it's from drinking alcohol, but he still vomited. I thought she was sleeping with somebody. It was a gag for me to fact that she had some serious issue she was holding a secret for. And, mind you, why do we always go to those places? I felt the director did that on purpose because as a viewer, you would think, okay, they'll just go the route she's cheating on him. Mama was sick. And it was sad because she was honestly, now that I look back at the episodes, really trying to hold it together and trying to be a good mom as well as, a wife, but also was dealing with the fact that she could literally die at any moment and she didn't want to get treatment. It was like, what? So for her later, and we will discuss, it was too much for me. Now, going to Lexi's parents, which is where we come to now like Lexi, because we now understand why Lexi is a Bia, is because her mother is the ultimate supreme Bia of all Bias. Like, I don't even want to say the word. Her mother was, I do not like Lexi's mother, who is the mayor of Hackensack, who is up for re-election, who is now trying to hide things from people and doesn't want to show the full truth. Yeah. Lexi's mother, who is a super Bia, and her father, who is a super punk, basically are not really taking care of Lexi and really are helping her with her needs or emotionally available for her, because they're very much focused on their other daughter, who I don't know if they addressed her as being like autistic or if they wanted to sort of give her a different feel or story. I can't decide what they want to do with the daughter just yet. If they just like her more, is the daughter with a different marriage? I'm trying to figure that out. they haven't really discussed it or given your daughter's she's special. Da, da, da. We've heard that, but it's like, what's going on? I don't know just yet. And I'm afraid of Chucky taking advantage of this, even though this is possibly one of the best screenshots, best moments on the show for me. I thought it was incredibly fucking hilarious as well as really cute and excellent puppeteer work to show Chucky playing a video game with this girl and just sitting down Indian style discussing how he was going to kill her sister. Nonchalant, just very much that. And mommy's on my list next. I bet she is. I know she's not off the hook. I know Lexi's mother and Ben better not live through this series. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna tell you that. Okay. Mm. Either way, Lexi is not the priority here, but her sister is. And of course, Chucky is using this to his full advantage because he fucking hates Lexi. He hates Lexi so much. So he's using her sister to get to Lexi. Ooh, child. Mm-mm-mm. This TV series is a lot. And as I'm going through all of these characters, I'm giving you the episodes up to episode 6 where I will end this at. Devin and Jake are adorable. That kiss was a little bit awkward, but that's all right. That's okay. I think this is important for a horror show, let alone a TV show, let alone this kind of love. I was so happy to see it because Devin wanted to talk to Jake, but he doesn't know how to approach him because he's a little bit like awkward and introverted, especially with his podcastiness, which I understand completely as a content creator. So I was like, I get you, Dev. And of course, he's dealing with his mother, who's a detective who is putting Jake as suspect number 1 because everybody in the town is dying around them. And he's trying to prove that Jake isn't the killer, which is so adorable. And Jake loves Devin. Ben liked him. Ben liked him, is a fan of his podcast and all that kind of good stuff. Can I find somebody like this, Jesus? I mean, oh, my Lord. Anywho, it's a cute scene. Everything about them, the way that this build up happened over the episodes with them coming to terms and talking to each other and being okay. They even held each other's hand at one point in time when they were scared. It was so cute. And Devin coming out to his mother was a great scene. I cried a little bit. I liked how Devin's mother approached the situation. Mama is a detective, so she knows what the tea is. And she was able to talk to her son and not make him feel isolated or insecure about him being himself. So, and she gave nothing but love. I was very, 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 very much here for how they handled that scene of him coming out. It was so good. So good. Better than Devin's, and I mean, excuse me, better than Jake's. And it's a contrast for how Jake came out because his father never asked him. He just called him and FA, the rest. And just went off of the rumors or assumed that from conversations that were held previously. Whereas Devin and his mother's conversation was organic and it was out of love. It was out of, I need to know because I'm concerned as a parent, that kind of spiel. So it was fun to see that happen and the way they put that in one season from that progression from episode 1 all the way to 6. You know what I mean? It's very good. Very good. I get butterflies. Do you feel that way about Jake? Oh, it was. Come on, Jose. Come on for the quotes. It was lovely. I love that she was supportive of him in spite of feeling sketched out by Jake at first. I mean, she's going to the mommy route. You look at hold on, who's the problem here? I ain't never seen this little curly headed baby. What's going on? And he got a doll's head on his neck. Bang, bang. That's what she was thinking. So it made sense, but she came around eventually and she started figuring out, okay, something else is wrong, which is why Glenda, I should say, who's not really Glenda, but the teacher, was arrested. And we talked about her criminal history being some sort of a issue. What time is it? Am I on time? What's happening here? It is 5:24. Great. I have a show on airtime at 6 o'clock Central Time. Make sure to join me here, kids. We're not done yet. We're talking about the show Chucky on Sci-Fi and USA Network. Thanks so much for being here. Make sure to hit that like button and thanks for joining me. And don't forget also tonight, 6:30 Pacific, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern will be the Dragula episode 6 season 4 Harry Monsters review. So be on the lookout for that as that is coming up soon with Dooley __ noted and myself. All right. So as these episodes are progressing, of course, Chucky is going down a list of people to kill. Some people are sort of in his way, such as the maid that was in episode 2 being pushed into the knives that were sticking straight up, which I I always put my knives down when I wash them, and I'm told to put them up, but I'm like, girl, please. I don't think so. But Chucky even killed one of the teens, which I don't think we've ever seen him do. They've discussed him killing some children or like teens in the background, like in sort of like context of things he's done, transferring the bodies and being like da 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 da. But honey, this one I wasn't expecting. He was a jerk to Jake at first, but then became sort of cool to Jake because the doll was funny to him, but never was established as a friend. They even put him and Devin into a room to kiss, and it was like, okay, girl, what are y'all doing, right? So I don't know what the purpose was outside of Chucky thinking that was Lexi and going, you're just a body, let's go. They showed him stabbing this guy so many times. It was crazy. I was gagged. I was like, why are they showing this so many times? Just ding, ding. I was like, oh my goodness, this is a lot. It was a lot. And what made it even scarier is the fact that the party he was at, kids had on headphones. It was one of those headphone parties where, you can't hear anything because the music is very loud and it creates a quiet space. So that way, say if the next door neighbors are like, oh, there's too much music. Nah, we hear the same music. We're not too loud. But apparently the neighbors didn't hear this boy screaming, being killed. Those little stabs killed me. You saw that hand was like, ah, 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 ah. Like even he felt bad. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even want to do it. I don't even want to do it. Okay, so Junior, I wonder what tonight's episode is going to be like because Junior's giving me spish, right? So here we go. So now Devin is aware that the doll is alive. Lexi is aware that the doll is alive. Mind you, Jake dropped off Chucky at Lexi's house to have Chucky kill her. She totally flips out on Jake about this, but then also has to remember, Lexi, you literally made his life a living hell. You also pretended to be his dad when he was electrocuted for Halloween as a costume. You even made it an entire moment at a party that everyone could see and take pictures of and video of you as your classmate's dead father, better yet, your boyfriend's cousin's dead father. You are a see you next Tuesday. You feel what I'm saying? So Lexi and Jake becoming friends, I could not believe. But I will say, after seeing what Lexi dealt with her parents, I was like, oh no, not me feeling bad for Lexi. And then also realizing as the episode continues to progress and Lexi hanging out with Devin and Jake, Lexi's actually not an asshole. It's just all of her energy is projected onto Jake from what her mother is giving her. That's the truth of it. All of that anger her mom throws on her and all of that nastiness, she throws it on Jake. So no longer is that the case anymore. They're all like the best of friends because they need to kill this doll. 1 and 2, they've sort of bonded over the situation. Junior's a little bit jealous though, because he's not included in this because Junior is not apparently intelligent enough to realize that a doll may be alive without turning it into a crazy situation. Lexi even tries somewhat to explain this and he turns it on her. Lexi tried, everybody. I was shocked. She even took up for Jake. She was like, come on now, Junior. I'm trying to explain this to you. Da, 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 da. Junior wasn't having it, told her to go F herself and broke up with her. It was so sad. Now Junior is upset because... Can I get to the slide? It's like, Matt, you're almost explaining over it, but we're about to get there because Jennifer Tilly has now entered the picture. Don't you remember our good sis here? I'm glad her mouth has healed after she ate the apple that Chucky gave her. Who knew she was a real estate agent? Did she explain that in the beginning? I don't think she did. But now it makes sense because she knew where the people were when Chucky asked them, where is what's his name party? So it's like, But we love her. We're glad she survived. But Jennifer Tilly is back into the picture here, and she's buying Charles Lee Ray's childhood home where his parents were murdered. Why not? She has big plans for this house. And a package arrived when she got there, and I'm sure it's another good guy doll as it's a huge box. So Jennifer Tilly is now back into the series, and also Nika is with her. But Nika is actually Charles Lee Ray, but actually also Nika because something's happening with Nika and the body that Charles is possessing. Every time she's hit or some sort of blood pops up or something that triggers her, Nika pops back up. and Nika's paralyzed. Chucky's is not. So when Chucky's in Nika, Chucky can walk around. But when Nika's Nika, she can't walk at all. That was an incredible scene. Also, watching Nika try to um, trick Tiffany when they were sitting there playing poker, and she's like, "Child, Chucky never does that." This is Fiona Dorff, by the way. This is Nika. This is who Nika was playing Charles Lee Ray in his younger version. This is her as Charles Lee Ray playing her father's character. Insane. I think it's a good image. I think they did a good job. I think she's great for the part, and her mannerisms too were like really good, really good. Um, Chucky apparently has been causing havoc in multiple places. As we find out that Chucky was in a black family. Now, let me tell you something right now, Chucky. Let me tell you something right now. If you had hurt that little baby, if you had touched this little girl, I would have came after you. I was like, oh no, you're in the wrong house. But who is there to stop Chucky from continuing his reign of terror as he's trying to go from house to house, murdering people? It's Andy and Kyle. Andy from Child's Play 1, 2, and 3. And of course, Kyle from Child's Play 2. Kyle being the adoptive older sister of Andy, which is very fucking awesome. She also showed up at the end, I think, of Cult of Chucky to sort of finish the job that Andy was doing when he was burning the original Chucky's head. So they're now going cross country, killing every good guy doll that Charles Lee Ray could have possibly possessed. And they're, of course, on the internet putting fake ads up, asking for dolls, this, that, and the other, also trying to track down Tiffany. So there's a lot going on with the TV show, let me tell you. They got all the people from, like, almost all the people from Child's Play 1, 2, 3 is nowhere in here, right? Bride of Chucky, yes. Seed of Chucky, Curse, and Cult. Everything's tied together. See how this goes? Now, Bree in episode 6, unfortunately, after Bree has come to terms with having cancer and is starting to be open and honest about what's going on, and that she's going to, tell everybody what's happening, and we're going to handle this, and I'm going to live my life, and I'm not going to get treatment. I'm just going to do what I got to do. Chucky kills her in the worst possible way, pushes her out of a 7th-story window with the mail cart, and his faces at first, and then oh, that's right, Aaron. That's right. Thank you. Thank you. He does mention 3 in the car ride. You are correct. With going to military school. You are correct. Also, during the series, everybody, there are going to be multiple flashbacks that happen each and every time that sort of give you a spiel into the movies, which, if this doesn't make you want to watch the movies, I don't know what will. But the TV series should make you want to watch the movies. I'm just saying, this all comes together. It's very cool. So Bree is pushed out the window and she lands on the car that Junior is sitting in. So Junior literally watches her mother smash into a vehicle, face through the glass. Oh my God, it was insane. I was like, this can't be real. This can't be real. This can't be real. This can't be real. Wait, what? Maddie, what do you think of the theory that Tyler from 3 is Devin's dad? I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm gone. What? 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 That would be fucking awesome. That would be a lot, though. That would be a lot. But that's awesome. Wow. I kind of don't need that to be, because then that would be like a lot on top of a lot on top of a lot on top of a lot. But then again, I mean, all right, let's see how that happens. All right, listen, the kids are pissed off. They thought they killed Chucky, but they didn't, because Chucky transferred his soul again after being burned and almost pulled. And once again, Chucky has found his way into a new body, because baby, he is not the one to be played with, because they almost got him, but not this one. But they end up in they end up in Junior's house looking for Junior, trying to save him, even though Junior doesn't want to be saved. And they end up facing off with Chucky again. When I tell you this scene with Devin and him in the hallway after Devin tased Chucky, and Chucky's like, "I'm getting too old for this shit." And it's funny, but then the moment he gets up, and it's either because they have children and little people who are also in the Chucky uniform in certain parts of this, as well as puppeteers. This is no CGI work, which I thought was incredible with the series. It's very helpful to make it look very realistic. So when he's getting up, it looked extremely real. And I was like, oh my God. Like, that's the stuff that makes my heart race when I see Chucky, is when they make him look very realistic. And it's like, ooh, sis. And starts running after him with the knife. And his face is like, ah! Oh, that was insane. I thought Devin was dead, bitch. I was like, oh my God, they gonna kill the old little black man. No. I was nervous. Bitch, I was nervous. I'm like, please get your taser together, sis. He's coming. He's coming. Ooh, but he picked that knife up like a G, and Chucky was ready to go. But when he passed him by, that was weird, right? It was like, where is he going? And I thought that was odd. It was like maybe just to throw him off. So once again, he could have the advantage on the field. But Devin's mother steps in looking for Devin, and Chucky jumps out, bites her in the face, rips off a piece of her face, everybody. I was gagged. And ends up basically messing her feeding up because he's yanking her all over the place, jumps off of her, and she falls down the stairs and breaks her neck, bitch. This is Chucky the TV series. Chucky has killed a lot of main characters' parents. He has come for the kids on the show. He is not to be played with. Right now, there are 2 episodes left remaining. This second to last one, of course, is tonight on USA and a Sci-Fi Network. But when I tell you, if you're not watching this, you are missing out. You are missing out. You are missing out. Not only is the writing great, the writing's Don, who you got on board to write here, baby, including yourself. But bravo. I have been enjoying the show thoroughly. I have not rolled my eyes once. Okay? That's the one. 2, the death scenes. For television, for cable TV, this has been fabulous. I wish American Horror Story would jump on this level. Where are you at, American Horror Story? Because you're doing a lot of tame shit lately. This show has been coming with the kills. Like some good kills too. Creative ones. But I think the best part for me, everybody, when it comes to this show, is the fact that the representation of the gay community, LGBTQI plus in general, especially in terms of non-binary over Chucky's child, and the way that Chucky even spoke on behalf of that. They dedicated an entire scene here in this situation to that moment of Chucky's manipulating Jake, but also saying, I have a child who doesn't even has no gender apply to them. Do you think I give a fuck who you are and how you feel? Bitch, you. Do you, bitch. Do you. And it's important because a lot of the movies that we see, of course, have a, sort of a type of way, or the set up to where it's always going to be, the guys are doing this, the girls are doing that, the gay character may die here, da, 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 da. But a lot of these horror movies are very much queer and gay icon films. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of us in the community relate to these films. And so with Chucky and Child's Play, the series, Don Mancini is a part of the community. He's family. He's gay. And when he wrote this, or put this together and created this, that's kind of what he wanted to do with the TV show, is not only bring Chucky back to life in the right way, but also show him what he's about. And Chucky is for the kids. Okay. And I was here for that. And I liked how, again, they showcased both Devin's side of coming out and being a gay black male, as well as Jake's coming out with his father in the homophobia side of it. There was two different ways to look at how we, or the younger generation of, I guess, is sort of, you know, being themselves and reclaiming who they are, as well as being okay being in the community. It was very interesting to watch the way this show played out. Also, recognize and give some respect here. He gave us characters that we hated that we now love. I hated Lexi. I kept waiting for the episode she was about to get hers. Woo! I was like, he is going to do her dirty. And there was that part where they stopped it, the whole house on fire. He's got the knife. I said, okay, this is about to be it. Nope. And now I'm rooting for Lexi to make it through this and somehow protect her sister, but to get away from her parents. I can't believe it. Chucky's a gay icon. Who would have known? Who would have known? This series is very entertaining. It is full of a lot of twists and turns. Again, watch the movies too if you haven't seen them. They're all pretty good except for Seed of Chucky. If you watch Seed of Chucky, be ready for just campy camp. It's bad and it knows it's bad. Curse kind of is too, but Cult's actually pretty damn good. Mm-hmm. But if you, get into it. It's a good show. I love it a lot. I'm totally tuned into it. When they announced this show, this was prior to COVID. And of course, COVID caused delays with this happening. So I didn't even think we were going to get this because this went very quiet. And I had no idea if we were going to get on Netflix or if it was going to be Apple TV. Had no clue. So once USA and Sci-Fi picked it up, I said, okay, I haven't given USA or Sci-Fi my time in a long time. So I'm nervous, but I'm very, 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 very happy. Very happy to see that what they've done is give us a love letter. This, I think, is a love letter to the fans of the Child's Play series. This is an apology for those people who almost ruined the series, in my opinion, with Robo Chucky. That was the dumbest shit ever and a waste of Aubrey Plaza's time. Aubrey Plaza is a great actress and we love her. That's April from Parks and Recreation. How dare you ruin April? I hated it. Oh, that movie was terrible. I tried so hard to like it. It was bad. But this, I think, made up for it and then some. It's a great series. Check it out Tuesday nights, Sci-Fi USA Network. I got to go. I have another show to get to on the Airtime app. Join me on Airtime, 4 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. We got to do Drag Race Everything and Hot Topics. I will be in there for an hour. Normally it's 90 minutes, but I'm going to have to give them an hour today. And then I got to get ready for the Dragula review tonight with Duly _ noted. That will also be on YouTube here live, 6:30 Pacific, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern. Your boy is tired. Oh my God. It's like I did TMZ this morning, did this, we got a little thing. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, the girl said, oh, Matty don't do nothing. Rah, rah, rah. Oh, bitch, I'm busy. And then tomorrow I have another video coming out with y'all. And plus I get to go to one of my first therapy sessions, which I'm so excited about. Get all this negativity away from me onto personal health betterment. I'm starting to ramble. I gotta go. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope you had a really good time with me. Really, once again, make sure to hit that like button. Get in the comment section, the regular comment section, and leave comments. It helps with the algorithm. I appreciate you so much. I will see you very shortly again. All right, y'all. Until next time.
Listen.